other night. I'll fix that though. Days go by, time it'll fly. Before you know it, that's life. That's life. Over the years, many nights have ended in tears. That's why, that's why I don't wanna waste no time. Don't wanna fight. Let's make love and memories tonight. I don't wanna waste no time. I don't wanna fight. I hate to. Oh, I forgot how part that part go. It's one of them. Anyways, but I'm just here doing what I do best. Barely can even. Look, I had one of those days where I had hard time sleeping, so trying to get that in check. It's so crazy how you can be so tired while you're doing things, and then all of a sudden, when you are not doing those things, you become untired. And I'm sorry, I toss and turn a lot. You know, I toss and turn a whole lot. But I wish it could be better. Hopefully, I think what it is, you know, when you got stuff on your mind, and it's a lot of, like, I would say when people are, I would say when people are needing you for this and needing you for that, you know, I don't know, and you're not getting enough of your time in. You know, that's the problem with me. You're not getting enough of your time in. Then that can kind of be an imbalance to your sleeping. You know, to your sleep. And I feel like it is an imbalance because it's just like on the go, 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 go. You know, and it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. Mm, it really is. I ain't gonna lie. It really is, and I promise you, I regret even having to complain, even having to complain about certain things when I was doing other things and projects. Hmm. And you guys, I had bought some Dolly Parton's product. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, I think you have to add other ingredients. You know, from another brand to make it pop. You know what, you guys, when you want, if you really want your pancakes to pop, my uncle told me, you know, use some buttermilk. You can also use not pancake, but you can also use cake batter. Cake batter. I think cake batter may be the secret to a lot of these companies' ingredients because cake batter really does make the cake powder and cake powder and pancake powder mixed together, make with a little bit of buttermilk, maybe with a little sugar. Well, it's always sugar in the cake batter. But you mix that up, and I'm trying to tell you, you guys, you would not be disappointed. You would not be disappointed at all. And I'm gonna have to do some exercising because my back is hurting me. But yeah, that's the best. And I don't know why I should never bought it because of the brand. I'm thinking it's gonna be something that's tasting pretty tasty, but I really couldn't taste too much of nothing. But I understand she's up in age, so therefore she can't even really too much have all of that type of stuff in her system because it triggers other things within the elderly body. It does. But it's like buying something off of Patty's. I'm not a big fan of. I would feel like this is for diabetics. Those type of foods out there that they got off. Well, I would say those type of products that they got out there for people to that can't handle a lot of sugar. It's just for people that's a diabetic. Honestly, it's the truth. It's for diabetics. It's not for me. It's really not for me. And as you guys can see, I'm still eating dinner from last night. Shout out to Keeping Up with Tommy and the Chosen Ones for making this happen. He's our sponsor for this. He was our sponsor for last night and today, this morning. I'm just saying. But yeah, I was watching something. I'm not really too much big on that well, I don't really what they say. I'm still watching television even though I'm not watching cable, but I'm watching YouTube on TV. Okay, I accept that. Okay, I accept that. I accept that. But what was I say? Um, um, what did I see that was? What have? Oh, I know what I've been seeing. I've been, you know what, you guys be very, very leery of someone that always have the Bible out. hmm The Bible's readers. We see them all the time on YouTube. Be very, very wary of those people. hmm Be very, very wary. Hold on, you guys. Hold on, you guys. Give me 1 second. Give me some tissue. Give me my tissue over here. Oh, what? hmm Okay. But yeah, be very wary of them people because some people will easily fall. They look. I done seen them in action. They were online. How you gonna be some Bible thumpers thumping on in the YouTube streets? But y'all supposed to be spreading the word of God. I don't get it. Falling right back in the flesh, huh? You don't say. Or has it really have left you as act? You know, a lot of people be acting. You know, and I mean, all these I don't get it. You know, online just reading the Bible, reading the Bible, reading the Bible. How much of the reading are you going to be really acting on? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I want to say this too, but I don't want to offend anybody. I really don't want to offend anybody. I think so differently about a lot of things. I do. A lot of people don't get me and how I think. But you know, so I was thinking like this, like after you done read the Bible, you know, for a certain amount of, well, if you have read the whole thing, I think the key thing is to just learn everything that's in it, and you learn from it. But after you read the Bible, why do we have to go back and read it over and over again? But I understand we have to feed the soul because sometimes when you are out in this world, you kind of can stray away from the word. But it's like when you know what to do, when you know the right from the wrong, you know, is it really necessary to do it? I mean, oh, hold on, I don't want to sound so bad, like I'm not a believer. But uh, that's a subject that I don't know. That's a topic I don't want to touch too much. It's just some may not agree with it, but I don't know. I feel like I need to get on my knees and I pray. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes interpreting the Bible, can be a little bit difficult. It can. You know, After you read it, you feel good, but do you really understand? Do you really understand? Do you really get what it's saying? It's easy to just read some scriptures, you know, but do you really understand what it's saying? That's just me, and I'm not really on the bandwagon of just following people because they believe in the same faith as I do, you know, because how whatever they may be talking about, it may be just they own it, bro. But I feel like a lot of times, you know, some preachers are really just giving their take and really their perception of what they think the word is saying. But they actually I think some of them be kind of a little bit on. It's the truth. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm no fool. I'm not fool, and I'm not here to be, convinced by other people out there. Hey, YouTube cameras, I'm not convinced by that. I'm really not. All this, I want to do this and do this, and I'm spreading the word of God. But at the same time, I'm showing you fleshly sides. Because if you really want to be all the way 100 with Christ, come on now. You have to let go everything. Everything. You have to let go everything. If you really want to be 100 with Him, all the way 100 with Him, you have to let go everything that's not of Him. And I think we all should. I think a lot of people should know that. If you are a believer, honestly, But at the same time, we are believers and we fall short. That's why I'm not in. That's why I'm not that person that need to be in the rush to. Oh wait, am I gonna go to hell or in a handbasket? Am I gonna be doing this and doing that? I'm not one of those. Mm-mm, I'm not. And I don't be faking it. If I feel like going somewhere to worship, I will go. If I don't feel like it, I don't feel like it. I won't be going. That doesn't make me an unbeliever. I just don't want to be playing churchy. I really playing church, and then playing with God. I'm only doing this just to see if I can get over and get my first ticket up on there into the hell of the gates. Oh no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I don't do that. Mm, mm. I'm not phased by a lot of them at all. I see right through them. Look, I grew up in a Christian school, and I seen the fakeness. When your parent wasn't around, they were two totally different people. But when your parent came around, you know, oh, it's all smiles. Oh, praise the Lord, all that. Hey, girl, you just told me some disrespectful stuff. Yeah, I would give a damn if I was a child. You shouldn't have said it, what you said to me. You know. Yeah, I remember one time when a woman told me when I was in the first, well, I don't know, I was in the sixth grade that I was never gonna make it. Yeah, people been down me since I was in the sixth grade, probably even more years down the line. That's why I gotta continue to prove. Well, not prove, but I still gotta continue to show, you know, that I can do what I can do for myself. They can laugh at me all they want to. Who cares? Who's over here crying about what people may mock? I don't have time to be over here soaking and wondering what this person is saying, what they saying. I don't worry like that. I mean, I don't worry about you know the opinions. Hell, there's been things I done heard people say that I have it in my mind. Look, I can forgive, I can forget, but I never forget. I would never I can forget it, but I well no how can I say it? How can you say it? You know, you can forgive, but you never forget. Yeah, that's what it is. I ain't been forgetting none of this stuff that a lot of these folks have said to me. I'm not holding on to it, but I know what people have said. I know how I know how they felt about me. But see, they'll think that I'm over here holding on to things. How come what's the problem of pointing out your wrongdoing when it came to me? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I like being honest. Hell, if you said something out the way that I never even made a video about or responded back to it, and I'm just now bringing it to your attention, that should be no problem. You know, because you know what it's something how you know someone can get all up in their flesh, all upset by something that happened that was separately from how they act. Really, it was separately, but you know, from how they would do things and how they would act. But as soon, oh my goodness, as soon as Cannonball, as soon as Cannonball steps into the room, we're still harping on certain things that happened years ago. And it shows that it's still upsetting to a lot of folks, you know. But let the situation be different, you know. It'll be different. They are just brushing it off. I don't care. When I get off of here, I go back into my regular life. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Cause motherfuckers think that you lied on that. If you look, let me say it like this: if you didn't hear it from the horse's mouth, you can't say it. Nobody lied on you. You can't. You can't. And I really do feel like that, and I'm not gonna change it. I'm not. Hope they could look. They could be done with me all they want to. It's the truth. I'm not lying. I'm not lying about this. Ouch! I'm just gonna call the crap. But it's the truth. If you didn't hear from my mouth, you couldn't call me no liar. Cause you can't say I lied on you. And I always stand strong on that. I'm not upset by it, but it just somehow always certain people they get a certain reaction. But when I'm stepping into the room, oh, I'm getting the aggressive, and then the passive aggressive that is what kills me. The passive aggressiveness, you know, and then the nice nasties, you know. I don't. That's why I don't deal. That's why I don't deal with folks right now to the day in today's time. That nice nasty bull crap, I ain't got time for that. Cause was I nice and nasty towards you? Nope. I was being myself the entire time. But you know what? I have let a lot of stuff go, but at the same time, I still have it in my memory how I get did. And you know what? A lot of folks will have it in their memory how I made them feel if they didn't tell me. But you know, sometimes some folks don't even tell me. Hey, outspoken. Some folks don't even tell me. You know, until later years on down the line. And I wish they would have told me right then and there, but they don't. I'm just expressing how I truly feel. You know, because I don't want to come off like a crybaby, like you know they say. That's that sign stuff. I'm not too big on that stuff anymore. But I'm not a crybaby. You know, I like to call a thing, just like how anybody else out there can call a thing a thing. Let's call it out. Let's call it out. I would love to call it out because I mean, hell, people got their opinions. I got my opinions too. It seems like people can't handle my opinions when I say my things. You know, I make it. You know, I don't know what that was. I thought I see something crawling over there on the floor over there now on my floor and outside. I mean on the ground I'm out there. But it's a cat. But yeah. Um what else I was gonna say? You know what, it was a young guy. Oh, thank you. I love you too, outspoken, unconditionally. For real, thank you. I know you do, my sister. And what I was gonna say, what I was gonna say, yeah, it was a young boy, a young gay boy, coming out here lying on a heterosexual. And you know, I don't understand it, but I do understand it. They're young. Anybody that's under the age of 30, they're look from 21, or better yet, from 20 to 21. I mean, from 20 to 25, probably. Immature people, very immature. Immature. Um, they very sassy. They think they can just do anything like they want to do it and do all the. Oh, I can't stand those type of people like that. Like if you're gonna be you, okay? But also be respectful and be mindful that you still can get your ass handed to you no matter how old you are. You know, no matter if you reach the threshold. You know, when it comes to certain ages. You know, they so immature. That's why I don't hang with them. I don't hang with 20-year-olds. I don't want to be around anybody in their 20s. The only people I can stand to be around in their 20s is people that I know that's family. Other than that, uh, they be so quick to lash out. Like, you gonna meet your match one day. Honestly, a lot of these niggas are. They're gonna meet their match. They think they are so big, bad, and bold. You know, I had that same mindset when I was a couple of years ago. But that's changed. You know, there's people out here that can give you what you're asking for. And it's gonna be a lot of those times where they are gonna get what they're asking for. And it's like a few of them on here right now that are still in their 20s and they still act kind of very like kids to me. Ugh. And then they got these fake ass personas. Ugh. I never envy. Look, I don't envy superstars. Those are, that's like another idol to me. We ain't glorifying that. We ain't finna glorify the next human being like that in my eyes. No, we ain't finna do all that. I don't have pictures of people that's in the industry up on my wall, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't feel the need to have that. I don't need that when I'm doing well, if anything, have some scriptures. Have some scriptures on the wall. Okay, have some scriptures on the wall. I mean, I know y'all see that paint in the background, but that ain't nothing. Somebody painted that, but it ain't. Maybe I'm just thinking a little bit too much into that, but it's just me. It's just me. Glorifying the flesh. We're gonna be glorifying the flesh. You guys, I've been talking so much, I haven't even touched my plate. But see, this is what happens when you don't get enough sleep, and sometimes you just have to kind of get it out for the time being because you didn't get the hours that you was expecting. And it's even for right now, it's 18. I mean, I don't even have that time. I would try to take another nap. Hopefully, I can get another nap in. It's just rough. but it's all right because I'm still gonna do what I gotta do for the day. But yeah, that person was lying. And see, when you lie on folks, that's all right. Cause I think somebody is gonna get you when you one day. It's just like how a person was lying to me. You know, before I got into certain situations a couple of years ago, persons were just I wrote about it. I said that person don't love you, and that person doesn't love me. They were telling you the same thing that they was telling me. Wipe those weeping eyes. Everything will be all right, and you will be okay. Mm-hmm. Liars, liars. Mm-hmm. But for someone to intentionally lie, you know, about having sex with someone or meeting up with somebody, that's just for me. It just goes to show how immature that you are in the head. And then not only do you make yourself look bad, but you make your community look bad. A lot of these young people, because I'm in the category, but I'm not 25 or 21 anymore, but still young. But some of those people that's in that community, you know, in the community, um, they make everybody else look bad. They make everybody else look bad. They put a stigma on us. It's almost like how people have a stigma about African Americans. We all are thieves and shit. We all like chicken and Kool Aid. Well, hell, when it comes to um, you know, the gays and that's in the community, and they being they're young and naive, and they're gullible, and they're making stupid ass decisions to lie on people that's not really on the same team. That really just behooves me, and it's just so shocking that they will go to that extent. Hey, Bird, it's shocking that they would go to that extent. I mean, that extent to really just try to get their name out there. And a lot of them right now in today's time want attention. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody wants to be a reality star. Yeah, everybody wants to be a reality star. Or want to be on TV. And look, after that, then what? What comes after that? Reality TV is so trash to me. I don't too much care to watch it. I don't care to watch it. It's boring to me. Ugh. Just to think just to sit down and make yourself look, just make it just, it's just like you're just, I don't know. I just think it'll make you dumb. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. It just don't. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't. It doesn't. But if you like it, hey, I don't love it. I don't. I don't even suggest you let your children watch too much of that stuff because it corrupts the mind in my eyes. It does. It really does. It allows things into your household that you don't need to be in your household. And now I truly understand what older people were saying to me when I was, around, knee high to a grasshopper. I can understand. I totally understand why some folks didn't have TVs in their house. This is trash. It's nothing but trash. You go back and watch some of that old stuff that you used to love, and you be like, I used to wait for this stuff every night. I mean, no, every Monday or Sunday or Friday. It was stupid. You know, in real time, it was comedic to you, but now that stuff is passed and gone down the line, it's just like you click on it and you be like, I waited for this. This was a waste of my time. What did I learn from this? I'm looking to learn something now. You know, I'm just saying. I don't care for it. All of it is facetious. It's facetious. I can't say the word right. Facetious. Facetious or facetious? I think it's facetious. Well, I'm just saying. I'm trying to use a proper word, but I'm just saying fake. It's illusions. It's illusions. Hell, you guys, I done seen it on music videos. Look, the artist can be overweight, but they can make you look like, you know, I got a round face as it is, which I don't mind it. But if I wanted to be looking like someone like mm, Will Smith, and maybe when he was in the '90s, they can easily just cheekbones, huh? Wow, when did you get cheekbones? Your pussy. I love it. But I wouldn't want to trick. I wouldn't want to trick. I feel like even when people, even when they use that, even when they use those doubles and those tricky cameras to make someone look skinny, that's still deceiving your audience and your fans. Mm. Yeah, just be yourself. Just come on out there. But a lot of people are so concerned about their weight, which is another thing. Which is a lot of people are struggling with body dysmorphia, and it's understandable because everybody wants to look like the same person. I say get comfortable in your skin that you're in. Hell yeah, if you know you can't go back to how you used to look 20 and 15 years ago, hey, it's accept the way that you are, accept how you look. We're not gonna look the same forever. I don't look the same like I did a couple of years ago in my 20s. I changed. Mm-hmm. Sure did. I changed. And I can't, I'm not be a damn fool trying to go on diets, extreme diets, eating spoonfuls, and that's it. Who want to eat spoonfuls? Look, who's around here eating spoonfuls of food and calling that dinner? Mm-mm. Now, I can see if you want a little bit on the plus size, but if you're not on the plus size, you're starving yourself. Mm-hmm. For who? And for what? I'm just saying. Who has time for that? Mm-mm. That's why I gotta eat, and I don't know why I'm not eating right now. I guess I'm not hungry because I don't eat breakfast. So therefore, by the time that I do eat, it may be Well, that's a lie. I do eat breakfast. I do eat breakfast, but it's that's every blue moon. Somebody either have to cook it for me in order for me to eat that sometimes, or I cook it here and there. I ain't big on it, you know. But what I was saying, um, yeah, there's no need to try to prove myself to the world on how good looking it I am. Hell no, looks fade. Looks fade. They come and go, and you are gonna have to accept yourself because you can lie about your age with it, but this right here, it's to tell it, especially this right here, and these are the telltale signs. Okay, the telltale signs. Look at the underneath them eyes. Look around them. Okay, they got lines. Okay, baby, lipo and all that other stuff. No, not lipo. What is that? Botox and okay. How your shit looking like this, bitch? You gonna be stone face? I'm just keeping it real. But you guys, I guess it's time for me to try to see if I can attempt to go back to sleep. Even I want to eat something, because I know if when I eat anything nowadays, I get instantly sleepy. That's why I can't eat. I really can't eat. Big heavy meals, because I get sleepy. But on that note, it's time for me to go. Let's go. You guys, have a blessed and wonderful prophecies. Oh, I can't say the word right. Have a proper. Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna butcher it. You guys, the English language is hard for me to learn. It's hard. But you guys enjoy your day and be. I'm not gonna say. I'll be trying to say these words, but I can't say them at times. It depends. I don't know why it's like that, but hey, it is what it is, and you guys